Royal Rumble is a week away, and then all the speculation is out there. Everyone makes their picks and thinks who's going to win the Rumble, and I'm curious about who might show up at this year's Royal Rumble from both the men's and the women's side. I don't have a clear-cut pick for who could win it, but I do have some speculation of who might actually show up. We're talking about that right now. All right, guys, I want to go through like 5 superstars in 5 minutes that could make a return or show up at this year's Royal Rumble. Now, these are not going to be crazy outlandish ones other than my very last pick. And it's not someone who would enter the Royal Rumble, but who would actually just maybe just show up at the Rumble. It's clearly just completely out of left field, but I want to have fun with this. And it's not CM Punk. I don't think Punk's showing up. So, number 1 on that list, we got 5 superstars in 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. First one I have on my list, Samoa Joe. I think that Joe has done an amazing job on commentary, but I do want to see him back in the ring. Joe has been off of being on the road and competing due to his injuries. He did a little bit last year and then got injured again. His work on commentary has been really fantastic, and I think he's kind of nestling in there as a great commentator for his kind of post-in-ring career. I think that Joe needs to have one more run at Mania and one good 3-month chunk if he is going to, kind of semi-retire from in-ring competition. I want to see Joe come back in a big way and possibly take on Drew McIntyre, but at least show up in the Royal Rumble. So number 1, Samoa Joe. Number 2 on this list, let's go over to the female side for a second, shall we? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is number 2 on my list. I feel like we haven't had much of Rhea recently. She had one of her great matches at TakeOver, and with that, I think Rhea has done everything she can in NXT. She has been ready for main roster. She has a built-in feud already with Charlotte Flair. I think that Rhea has been able to prove herself on a big stage like we saw at Survivor Series in previous years where, she could really stand on her own. I think Rhea making that big female superstar debut at the Royal Rumble, I think that would be really cool. Rhea Ripley is number 2 on our list. Number 3, sticking with the NXT theme for a second, Damian Priest. Damian Priest is another superstar that I feel that is ready to go. There were rumors that he was actually supposed to show up on SmackDown to work in an angle with Roman Reigns, and they apparently squashed all of that, and those were the rumors, by the way. But I think Damian Priest is one of those superstars that could be almost that dark horse in the Royal Rumble that has a really good showing. He comes in at, number 9, number 10, and people get a really good feel for Damian Priest. They've done this in previous years with NXT superstars showing up at the Royal Rumble. I think that this is a good way to, 1, show off NXT as always, and 2, get someone like Damian Priest. He's just a giant of a man. He's got a great look. He's right up Vince's alley. They could do a lot with him going into Mania season to try and get a new star for the new year of wrestling in WWE. So Damian Priest is next on this list. Number 4 on this list is someone that is outside of WWE. They've done a little bit in there, but big in New Japan, big in the indie scene, as well as Impact, and that is going to be Tessa Blanchard. Now, Tessa has had a lot of controversy around her in the last year or so with a lot of her remarks and comments that she has made and some of the relationships she has damaged, but there is no doubt that Tessa Blanchard is a marquee superstar who is ready, who has put in the time to be on a bigger stage. And I think Tessa Blanchard, being able to work on her craft for so many years, has built herself up to a point where I think that she would be ready for main television, WWE, to be going after in a women's championship match, either for SmackDown or Raw, going into Mania to be that next level heel superstar to come in and face the champ. I think Tessa Blanchard would be amazing, even if she only showed up for a little while, but I think that she should have a permanent home in WWE. She's a phenomenal talent, and she's worked her way around the world. Tessa Blanchard is number 4 on the list. Number 5 is somebody that you can't see, and that would be John Cena. Yeah, guys, I'm picking John Cena. The reason why I'm saying Cena could show up at the Rumble, I could even see Cena winning the Royal Rumble, to be honest, but this is not my predictions of winners. I think Cena could show up at the Rumble, potentially win the Rumble, because I'd like to see Cena go off against Roman Reigns WrestleMania this year. I don't think we have a clear-cut winner of who could win this year's Royal Rumble on the men's side. I love Roman Reigns' work, And I want to see Roman and John Cena at some point go at it again. But this time, it's kind of reversed, where Roman is the super awesome heel and Cena is the part-timer coming in. And I want to see those two line up. And it'd be fun to see Cena come back. He had his Firefly Funhouse match at Mania last year. It was fun. It was probably one of the best things on the show. I want to see John Cena show up at the Royal Rumble. I think we're still keeping this into 5 minutes. It's hard to tell, but I'm just still rolling, guys. I'm just rolling, and let's roll this thing together. So those are our top 5 picks for this year's Royal Rumble of who might show up at the Royal Rumble. What do you guys think? But my dark horse, my outlandish pick that probably will never happen and won't happen at all. My outlandish pick is actually Conor McGregor. We've heard like minor rumblings in years past of Conor McGregor showing up in WWE to do a program. WWE is really big on needing those big names, those big superstars, Hollywood stars, people outside of the company to come in for those big matches, those big marquee matches this year. This year is no different. I don't feel like they have a big marquee match where they want a couple of them, be it in the title scene or just to have someone from the outside, like they did when they brought in Ronda Rousey. Now, I think that Conor McGregor, it's kind of perfect timing at the moment because he just came out of his fight. He lost, but I think Conor is just like an amazing mega star that could come into the Royal Rumble, not necessarily in the Royal Rumble match itself, but to have Conor McGregor just show up at the Royal Rumble to cut a promo and to say that he is here in WWE, and you could have anybody come out or nobody and just shock the entire world. It's like when we had Floyd Mayweather show up. I mean, he had his whole thing with Big Show, and they were going through that kind of celebrity boxing match for Mania. I think they could do not something similar, but just have McGregor show up in the ring, and that would be all you need to do to leave a little bit of mystery. He's out of the UFC right now because he's finished his fight. He's got a little bit of time. Why not do a little piece of work at WrestleMania? And it's a big, big spotlight for Conor McGregor. Ladies and gentlemen, those are our 5 picks of who might show up at this year's Royal Rumble. Who are your picks? Who do you have on your list that's going to show up that you think will be there? The rumors circulating around. It's such an amazing time because we are on the road to WrestleMania. It's the best time of the year for wrestling fans. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'm Matt from Assemble. And as always, thank you guys for assembling with us. See ya.